Network Entertainment.
Day 197. Paano kung gusto ko ng secure relationship?
Hi, I'm Joelle. I talk for a living and I'm an overthinker. Life keeps going and the questions keep coming. But I hope you find comfort in the fact na hindi ka mag-isa. Ang dami nating overthinker, no? Sa ups and downs, twists and turns ng buhay, paano kung ituloy lang natin ang paghanap ng kasagutan? Ready? Tara! This is Joelle's podcast. Paano Kung? Powered by the Pod Network.
Hello, overthinker. Kamusta ang puso? I've been trying to figure out what to do to kind of commemorate and prepare and celebrate our 200th episode. And I really want to do a live recording again para magsama-sama tayo. Pero I don't know kung nasaang lupalop ba kayo ng bansang to. Like, game ba talaga kayo na pumunta dito sa studio namin to like hang and chill and watch and just like get to know other overthinkers and stuff like that. So I would love to know that. But in the meantime, I'm also live right now, which we love. We're live on TikTok right now. So hanging out with some people here. Hello. Thank you guys for being here with me. It's actually the first time na nag-live ako ng TikTok. But yeah, today's episode is more personal and something that I am processing myself. Narealize ko kasi na ang tagal na since last time ko to ginawa, like doing a personal episode. And magandang time na rin ito para mag-reflect sa state of my marriage so that I could hopefully look back on this someday. Diba? Parang time capsule, love letter to my future self. So, I grew an audience on TikTok kasi nagkakwento ako ng landi tips na nag-evolve into questions about relationships, all based on the knowledge I have picked up through experience, firsthand or secondhand, observing others, through the healing modalities that I have tried, and through online resources. And while all of this was happening, while I was sharing yung mga tanga moments ko, yung mga lessons, I was in new territory, exploring my new relationship, unlearning toxic habits, getting over some fears, and putting to test the things that I've learned before that, and becoming a better partner than I was in previous relationships. At that time, hindi ako sigurado nun where that relationship was gonna go kasi at times, many times, it felt too good to be true. And it also felt like too early in the relationship para malaman kung saan ba talaga papunta to. Like, everything was great, but I didn't know that. Hesitant pa ako masyado magkwento about my relationship and what's been working well since everything was new. And syempre, may takot din nun na parang yung takot ko at the time was, ang dami-dami kong sinasabi, paano kung mag-break kami, ganon, diba? So, in-enjoy ko na lang muna yung season that we were in at inaral, kumbaga. So, now here we are. Almost 5 years later, I am married for over a year and we're currently building our life together. I think it's safe to say na hindi naman na kami new, diba? Hindi na kami new couple. Newly married, yes. But I guess in a way, it's also like definitely considered long-term na. Pero since panghabang buhay na dapat to, I would like it to be panghabang buhay. I would like to think that we still have a long way to go. Mga 50 or more years pa if we're lucky. But I also wanted to take a moment to reflect on how far we've come at this point in time of reaching what feels like a secure relationship. 66% of you overthinkers, my listeners, you guys are 18 to 27 years old. That is 66% majority of people listening to me. You guys are still figuring out your lives, who you are, and also carving out your love lives. So, assuming na gusto nyo magka-love life, that's today's Paano Kung. Paano kung gusto ko ng secure relationship? So, I wanted to dive deeper into all these thoughts today, in today's episode, because I've been facing these questions a lot on TikTok. And I would like to think na for those na gustong mag-settle down one day, that the goal would be to have a secure relationship that just works. I've always been very anxious about love and lande and relationships. Nakwento ko na rin to throughout the episodes, which you are welcome to revisit. But before my relationship now, kahit na I've always dreamed of like happily ever after based on what I've seen in movies, there was still so much fear chasing, settling, and there was just so much chaos. So I would find the nice ones boring, and I would usually end up falling for the people who didn't want relationships. I chased, I cried, I ended up putting myself in harm's way more ways than one. Sobrang daming nangyari, pero sobrang dami ko ring natutunan about myself. And there was just so much growth. Looking back, I actually didn't ask for a secure relationship. I wanted someone to like, the love of my life, the one, ganyan. But I wasn't clear that I wanted it to be a secure relationship. I wasn't clear with what I wanted because I didn't know it actually existed. So if you're in that space right now, sa buhay mo, I hope these thoughts give you some insight. Paano kung gusto ko ng secure relationship? I've said many times here na important maging clear with what you want. So, maliban sa pagsabi ng, okay, gusto mo ng matalino, pogi or maganda, ng funny, adventurous. According to the Attachment Project, it would help a lot to look for someone who is secure sa sarili niya, who has the following traits. 1, a positive sense of self. Kung saan alam niya yung strengths and challenges niya. Or areas for improvement, kumbaga. In touch siya sa needs niya, has realistic expectations of themselves. Kailangan, for the most part, secure siya sa sarili niya because they have a healthy relationship with themselves. 2, kailangan merong emotional understanding and availability. Because this allows them to have deep, meaningful conversations about emotions and are capable of holding space for others who are struggling emotionally. And important din na kaya din niya yung gawin para sa sarili niya. 3, strong conflict management skills, aka marunong makipag-away, quote unquote. That's only one aspect, syempre. Someone with these skills can problem solve kasi they can manage their stress nang hindi nag-escape without running away, without blaming others, without projecting or being defensive. 4, kailangan may secure relationship siya with others. For me, it's a real green flag na if a person has like healthy long-term relationships with his friends or their friends, family members, and their colleagues. Kasi nakikita mo yan eh. Like, if they can take care of this aspect, then they have the tools to take care of the other aspects of their life. So, ang maidadagdag ko lang din doon sa mga nabanggit ko, important that they have a good balance of independence and intimacy, which means na they created and continue to create a life na sa kanila. Pero, handa sila na ibahagi to and to build a life with someone also. Another thing that's important to me is patient. Kailangan patient siya and has healthy boundaries. You could also look into consistency, has integrity, is intentional with what they say or what they do. Next, takes accountability for their mistakes in the past and even as they go through life. Kasi, okay, one thing, like, you know what you did before, diba? Parang, okay, may mga ganitong mistakes ako, I learned from it, I'm doing better, ganyan. But as we go on with life, there are still things that we will still make mistakes. We will still make decisions that are like, ha? Pero ang importante, paano mo hinaharap yun? Next, dapat they have the desire to grow for themselves and to grow with you. Kaya, lagi kong sinasabi na bullshit for when people say na parang gusto niya makipag-break kasi kailangan niya ng time to work on themselves. Because working on yourself, it never stops. The question is, do you want to care for someone also while working on yourself? So, paano kung gusto ko ng secure relationship? Aside from the traits in a person, I've come to learn from manifestation, resources, and brain rewiring na it's also important to familiarize yourself with what being in a secure relationship feels like. There's a tendency kasi to get caught up with a checklist na, okay, lilista mo yan, which is great, obviously. Pero, pag pag kumapit lang tayo sa checklist, we tend to treat it as like a job interview, yung mga dates. And parang kikilalanin natin, ito yan, ganun ka ba? Ay, hindi. It's great, but at a certain point, it might lead people to forgetting to experience the beauty of being in a relationship and building that as well. So, remember what you want it to feel like. Syempre, it's a deeply personal journey, but if you want ideas, here's what it feels like for me. A secure relationship means that there is emotional safety where you're free to be vulnerable because you're seen, you're heard, and understood. Walang takot na ma-judge ka. No games, no mind games, no manipulation.
Sa 100 tanong, meron akong 1,000,000 sagot at minsan mas marami pang tanong. This is Kuya Kim and I'm thrilled to invite you to my podcast under the Pod Network, Ano Ba Talaga? With me, Kuya Kim Atienza, also powered by Memo Plus Gold. Kung may gusto kayong malaman, matutunan o madiscover na bago, makinig na kayo sa podcast na to. Marami akong mga guests, topics, trivia, and revelations on this show. Ang masisiguro ko sa inyo, you'll always learn something new. Just search for Ano Ba Talaga with me, Kuya Kim Atienza on Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts.
And because of that emotional safety, you can express your love freely and communicate the things that bother you without the fear of them leaving you or withholding affection. In a secure relationship, there's calm, but when challenges come that are out of your control, there's an anchor. So, alam mong pwede mo tong kapitan, alam mong hindi ka matatangay. A secure relationship feels like there's fun, laughter, play, and silliness. It's not all serious all the time. So that's what makes it fun. There's kilig and romance and endless pursuit. There is gratitude that you have each other. Meron kayong tiwala sa isa't isa. Yung ramdam mo na may partner ka talaga sa buhay. And there's overflow of love and safety. So much that it also affects the other aspects of your life. Kasi you guys are pouring into each other's cup, you're pouring into your own, and sobrang daming love na nasa-spread. So yeah, ikaw, what's on your list? Kayo, what's on your list of what you want a secure relationship to feel like? You guys can comment there. And after you've given this thought, important din kasing, pagmunihan to. Think of the instances kung saan you already have these feelings in your life and ask yourself, how else can you experience these feelings in other aspects of your life? Kumbaga, train your brain to find and feel safe in these feelings of safety and security. Paano kung gusto ko ng secure relationship? Ang lagi kong nakukuhang comments online. Asan po yung yellow basket, Ate Joelle? May ganyang tao pa ba sa mundo? May this kind of love attack me. Hit me like a truck. Super funny, super cute, super real. But are you ready to put in the work? To prepare yourself to receive this kind of love? Sometimes we like it in theory, but maybe hindi pa rin tayo ready to put in the work. So, here are things that led me to getting that secure relationship or creating that secure relationship I have now. And as tempting as it is to break it down na parang, step 1, step 2, step 3, iba-iba tayo ng journey. So, gamitin nyo lang to as a guide. There's no particular order, but I think these are things that you can actionably do. 1, go on dates. Date people to figure out what you want and what you don't want in a relationship. Date people to also get to know the different versions of you, where you can hopefully find a version of you, meet a version of you that you actually really like. It's also important to date yourself so that you can first give yourself the love that you look for in others. Para hindi ka mag-rely sa ibang tao, para ibigay lang ito sa'yo. Like, you can get it from other people. You can get that love and attention. Pero, hindi ka naman gagaling sa pagkukulang kasi alam mong kaya mo rin siya ibigay because you know how to give it to yourself. 2, be ready for heartbreaks. for the possibility na masasaktan ka ng paulit-ulit-ulit-ulit. Oo, may mga swerteng nahahanap agad ang love of their lives. Their Prince Charmings, their princesses, and we love that for them. I mean, first love, happily ever after, great! But for many, it takes a lot of trial and error, and it's okay. It doesn't make you any less deserving of the kind of love you want. For me, all the heartbreaks, all of that, it allowed me room to grow, and it taught me that I can always move past even the biggest heartbreaks because I always did. I was always able to ask for help, to find ways to pull myself up and recover from all of those heartbreaks, kahit na masakit while doing it. 3, become the person ready for the love that you want. Gusto mo ng soft love? Gusto mo ng emotionally intelligent na partner? Gusto mo ng magaling makipag-communicate? Are you someone who can give that too? Can you be soft and patient? Can you be understanding, honest, and vulnerable? Are you ready to have the hard conversations without blame or running away? Hindi naman expected na you're all this because hindi naman tayo perfect and nade-develop din yung mga skills na to. In a way, I would still consider them as skills. Nade-develop ang mga to through time. But make sure that you're also putting in the work to grow, not waiting for a future time to come. And speaking of, 4, stop dating potential. Know the difference between dating potential and someone who actually wants to grow, who is consistent, who shows growth. Take people for who they are right now, not the version that you created in your head. And if after constant communicating, walang nagbago, walang desire to change, o di kaya nagbago, tapos bumalik sa dati, or maybe hindi lang talaga kayo good match for each other, you have to be honest to yourself na hindi na siya nag-work. 5, have the courage to walk away if it's not a good match anymore. Sobrang hindi ito madali. Valid yung maramdaman na parang, hala, baka this is the best that I can do. Baka wala nang magmahal sa akin. Baka hanggang dito na lang yung para sa akin. Maybe our relationship isn't so bad. Maybe this is what compromising means. No one will make that decision for you but you. I can never tell you kung nagsisettle ka ba or what. Or if you'll meet someone else in the future who's a better fit for you. I do not know that. So, ikaw lang ang makakaalam nito. Only you know what's in your heart of hearts. And if you know deep down that you're not where you should be, allow yourself to create room for the type of love that you want by walking away from what isn't. 6, it's okay to pause and to take a break from dating. I understand. Minsan nakakapagod naman talaga. Pag paulit-ulit yung sakit at disappointment and then you start again and you have these expectations tapos hindi siya mag-work out. It can get exhausting. I'm not saying it doesn't. So, pag pagod, pwede naman magpahinga. Give yourself permission to do that. If you don't feel like it's a good season for you to date and you want to focus on other aspects of your life, which are just as special and as beautiful, then yeah, do it. Pero make sure na honest ka sa sarili mo na hindi ka na nakapause at parang nagde-delay ka lang na dahil lang sa takot. Okay? You have to know the difference also. 7, be open to opportunities and chances to fall in love. I said kanina, be ready for heartbreaks. But along that is allowing yourself to be open to falling in love. It's never too late for love. Kasi, tingnan nyo naman si Maring Taylor Swift. O, diba? In her 30s, after living a life, after all the heartbreak, after all the loves that felt like they were the ones, after many disappointments, not just in love, but in many aspects of her life, habang umaasa siya, may pag-asa. So habang umaasa ka, may pag-asa. Habang nandyan ka, handang magmahal, there is still love. So here's a reminder that love comes in many forms and it's there in many, many spaces. 8, you don't have to make dating the ultimate goal of life. This may seem like counterproductive, huh? Gusto ko ng secure relationship. Sabi mo mag-date ako, Ate Joel, pero huwag siyang gawing ultimate goal. Yeah, kasi marami pang goal sa buhay. The goal is to not find secure love. It's to be love. And then you can create security and safety. And finally, trust that you deserve the kind of love you want. I always say this at the end of our recent episodes kasi madalas, ang nakakalimutan nating step ay yung pagtanggap ng pagmamahal na to, allowing this to enter our life. It can walk right in front of us. It can even punch us in the face. Pero kung feel natin hindi tayo worthy of that love, kung feel natin hindi natin deserve, we won't be able to let it into our lives. And parang kung iniisip mo na parang, kailangan ko to i-achieve XYZ, kailangan ko maging ganito, kailangan ko tapusin yung ganito, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to. You already do. You always do. And together, let's take a deep breath. Ang dami-dami nun. Sana, na-absorb nyo yun lahat. But yeah, I'll let you guys marinate because I think that was a lot of information. And hanggang dito na muna ang chikahan natin. Kamusta ang puso at brain? What are things that struck you the most? Meron ba kayong mga na-realize na parang, oo nga, no? May mga ganun ba? I'd love to know that. Comment nyo naman dito sa Spotify or YouTube or wherever you listen to this. Or kayong mga nasa live, i-chika nyo sa akin. And to support what we do here, a follow, a recommendation to someone who might need this goes a long way. Alam niyo, pag may mga nagtatanong, ano yung podcast na pinapakinggan mo? Sabihin nyo, paano kung? Share it as well online and tag me at Joelle OL, JOELLEOHWELL para ma-update kayo minsan pag nagla-live ako on TikTok. So, yeah, you can join the broadcast channel as well on Instagram, or we also have the Paano Kung Telegram group. Andun yung mga updates. I don't message as quickly as often, but it's there. And as always, I'll catch you on the next episode. But yeah, this is where we end for now. Kwentuhan ulit tayo soon. Always remember, may kasama ka lagi sa paghanap ng mga sagot sa mga paano kung sa buhay. You are valid, you are growing, and in the journey to a secure relationship, remember that it's a continuous process. It's not just found, it's built. So keep building. Because remember, you always deserve the kind of life and the kind of love you want.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.